Welcome to this lesson on the world of microservices in 5 minutes. I have about 5 or 6 slides and I'm going to cover everything that you need to know about microservices, right? So in this lesson, I'm just going to talk about what microservices are and how do they relate in terms of our own course and how does it fit into the big picture. So the monolithic versus microservices. First, microservices is a software architecture where applications are broken down into small autonomous services. Okay. On the other hand, the monolithic mode of development implies that the application is first developed, tested, packaged, and then deployed as a single unit. And this is something that we've been doing all along so far in the last several years. Code bases are compiled together and then the application is deployed as one entity. One of the major issues with monolithic applications is that if a service fails, the entire application may be compromised. And this happened back in 2008. I remember where with Netflix, the entire application was in jeopardy just because of one semicolon, right, in their code. So first, let's take a look at the online store monolithic architecture. Okay, standard shopping cart application has an interface, the shopping cart UI, and then of course our web pages contain the product catalog, user account, similarly the classes in the middle, and then the config files on the right side of this diagram, all contained within one DB or database, right? This is the standard method of the shopping cart application that you see online. The microservices architecture is spread out, right? Notice the prominent difference is you have multiple databases. Each database handles its own set of requirements. So one DB will handle the user account, the other will handle the product catalog, inventory, and order. So it's more distributed, right? So keep that in mind. And of course, if an architecture is distributed, that means it can be scalable, so you can easily add another DB to the microservices architecture. So the microservices architecture provisions for faster deployment, development, and scalability. So the new technologies such as Docker, of course, we'll take a look at in detail, in depth in this course. LXC and orchestration frameworks such as Kubernetes, once again, we'll dive into Kubernetes in depth, mitigate many of the problems that prevented using microservices architectures in the past. So they use a technology called containers, which are lightweight runtime environments that provide isolation and scalability with minimal impact to performance and capacity. And we'll work quite a bit with containers and pods when we get into Docker and Kubernetes and the cloud platform. So quick benefits of microservices: faster time to market, flexibility and scalability. It aligns well with the organizational needs. As the organization grows, the infrastructure can grow accordingly. Reduction in cost, resiliency, redundancy, and of course, automation and monitoring are all benefits of microservices. So in this course, we'll take a look at Kubernetes, Docker, and the cloud platform. So these three bundled up. I'm going to walk you through how to use the Google Cloud Platform, what Docker is, what images are, containers are, how do we use them. In fact, the entire architecture I'll cover within this comprehensive course. So key takeaways, keep this in mind. Monolithic apps, they're good for small organizations, right? If you want to develop a small software, fine. You can use the conventional methods. But if you're working for the enterprise or distributed environment, then microservices provide several benefits. So you want to consider adopting when your organization scales. Also leverage best practices. So an elastic cloud provides an ideal environment such as auto scaling, deployment, scalability. For example, the Google Cloud Platform that we'll take a look at in depth in this course as well. So I hope this helps the world of microservices in 5 minutes, and let's move to the next lesson.